Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home. We are closing in on Valentine's Day, so we took a little visit up here to H. Williams Jewelers on Upper James in Hamilton, and we are hanging out with Glenn Watt this morning. Good morning. So we're talking Valentines, and of course one of the popular gifts on Valentines for both men and women. Probably a little bit more female
More
side.
female than men.
Yes.
But yes, definitely.
But jewelry's good.
Very good.
It's
Absolutely
good. And the best part is that there are a lot of different price points. So we're not talking about dropping a ton of money on Valentine's, even though that's nice too.
Valentine's Day is a time, you know, it's hot on the heels after Christmas. So it's only 7 weeks after Christmas.
So your credit cards are still feeling it.
Credit cards are still coming in, so we have to worry about that. So we, you know, there's lots of gifts that are appropriate, nice jewelry pieces that, you know, they start at $100 and go up to whatever you would like to spend.
And that's what's nice about it, is that that's actually attainable for some people. So
absolutely. So flowers and jewelry would be perfect.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, so you're the man to talk to. All right, so let's start down at this end, and we'll talk about, we're going to start with silver. Silver. We've
got silver hearts, which would be appropriate for Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
Something with heart necklaces in pave cubics. There are enamel earrings, something like this, for example, that are enameled up, so they're black and white, so they show up nice and dressy for a nighttime dress and whatnot. And as I say, those are everything on that in that bundle is less than $200.
That's great. And you know, and the good thing about that again is that there's something that you know, it's not just for wearing on Valentine's or around that time. These are pieces that are great
all the time,
all year round. And what I love about jewelry right now is that you know, even if it's super sparkly, you can wear it during the day. There was a time years ago you couldn't do that.
Only for dress and only on special occasions, so that it'd come out of the vault 3 times a year.
And that's
no, it's not what jewelry should be. Jewelry should be worn all the time.
I love that. I love that you can put on a big sparkly necklace with a pair of jeans. I bet you do. I bet you do. So silver is a really good thing, and again, really great price points for people, and obviously a lot more where that comes from when they can come into the store.
Lots of choices, absolutely, lots of choices.
Okay, so moving towards here, love seeing this pink gold, this rose gold. I love it. It's
very
European.
Warm.
Is it?
Yes, it's styles generally come from Europe to the southern states and work their way north, and we're somewhat conservative in Canada, so it takes a little while for something like the rose gold to come in.
It takes a while to get to us, doesn't it?
To get to us, and then it stays there for a long time. Now, rose gold has become, over this past Christmas, for example, you've seen lots and lots of rose gold going out of the store, along with things like chocolate diamonds, which set it up, beautiful colors to go with it. Okay, so talk to me about chocolate diamonds. I mean, some people are at home right now are saying, what? So chocolate diamonds are white diamonds that have been heat treated, irradiated, in order to give them a consistent chocolate color, or blue color. There's other colors that are available as well. In this particular case, with the pink gold, the chocolate looks so good and so rich.
It does. It's a really nice combination. It's very warm. It has a very, as you say, a very rich look to it. And again, in just so many different styles, you can really go with something. It doesn't have to be something that looks like an engagement band.
Exactly.
An engagement ring.
Like we were talking before, a left-hand ring would be something like this is gorgeous. Chocolate diamonds, and then the accent of the white diamonds, which brings out the color of the chocolate, and then of course shows off the rose gold.
That's just beautiful, and I love that there's just so many different styles. There are necklaces and earrings, and again, so let's talk about price points a little bit with these. So, you know, when you're getting into earrings, for something simple as something
those are $195.
That's awesome.
They're in 10 karat gold with diamonds, and again, we were talking about being able to wear them all the time.
Yes.
Wear them to work quite easily.
Absolutely.
And wear them with white gold. The nice thing about that is there's white gold accents on those.
Yes.
So if you have white gold jewelry, don't be afraid to wear the white with the rose and the rose with the yellow. Mix and match. It's just the same thing as where we always thought that we needed to wear just yellow gold or just white gold. That's not the case.
And again, that's good for you guys as well, because a lot of people had put away some of their jewelry, or were just not, everybody was all about the white.
Didn't think they could wear it anymore.
That's right.
But of course they can.
So now you just mix it all up. And again, that just opens things up for people who are coming in and buying gifts for people. Now they don't have to say, oh, that's right. Panic. I don't know, does she wear yellow or does she wear white?
I didn't pay attention. I didn't see what she was wearing this morning. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's right. Because I'm sure you guys have lots of questions for people when they come in, just to kind of get an idea of their style and what they like.
What she likes, what she wears.
That's helpful though, because a lot of times, you know, people are coming in, particularly, you know, no offense to men by any means.
But particularly men.
But but I'm just going to say that yes, sometimes.
We don't pay attention until we have to pay attention.
Until you have to, and then the questions are asked and they're like, I don't even know, I don't remember.
Well, the questions that we'll ask will be simple questions. They'll be easy to answer. We'll be able to bring out some information.
You don't want to stress them out.
No, don't want to stress them out. And the worst case scenario is if we pick something wrong, as we always say, if you take this and we think this is the right one and it turns out to be, blame me, say it was my idea, and come back and pick something else.
Amazing. That's a good thing.
Good way to do it.
Good fallback. All right, so let's move over as we're talking about men, because they deserve something nice as well, obviously. And cufflinks, we were saying, let's talk about the cufflinks because that has become a big thing. A lot of French cuff shirts,
starting to come
that
around
nice
again.
look. I love that on a man.
Guys are starting to wear vests, so
yes.
you know the cufflinks are nice with
so
the vests.
Good.
And again, with silver, because of the price of gold, has become a lot of gold jewelry for men because it has to be heavy, has become out of sight as far as the price is concerned.
Right, where gold
so there's
sits.
so many nice silver styles that have come out that work with the white that is far more popular with men now than the yellow. And cufflinks, for example, setting it up with black, setting it up with blue, different colors to set things up, and then also in the silver because you can go with heavier, chunkier styles in rings and bracelets and so on and so forth.
Because of the price point, you can get away with it.
Because of the price point. So for a few $100s instead of a few $1,000s, you get something that you can wear, that you can enjoy, and it's very, very tasteful.
That's nice, you know, and that's a great thing for women as well. Bringing the fact that cufflinks are back, it gives us something else.
Gives you an excuse to find something nice. It's tough to buy for guys.
It is. It really is. It can be, especially when a lot of times guys can be very gadgety, and they may have every gadget out there, right?
Yep, that's right. They'll go down and buy those themselves. So it's
difficult
to find something jewelry.
This is kind of nice, and again, it's something that maybe I was like, you know what, I don't think I would have thought to buy that particular one. And again, there are so many different styles to choose from that you can find something just for them.
Always, always.
All right, so this is the best part down here.
These are, in case you decide you're going to get engaged this Valentine's Day, which it's a good occasion for engagements as well, is we have just recently taken on the Alfred Sung line of engagement diamond rings. There are yellow diamonds as well as white diamonds. These are entirely Canadian. Of course, they're represented by Alfred Sung, which is Canadian. These are Canadian diamonds, mined, cut, and polished in Canada. The gold is mined in Canada, and the jewelry is all made in Canada.
Think about that. You don't hear that very often.
You don't hear it at all. This is very, very recent. We've heard lots about Canadian diamonds.
Yes.
But oftentimes the manufacturing is sent offshore in order to be able to put it all together. In this particular case, everything is entirely Canadian, which is really nice to have.
That really is nice, you know, and people love that. And I think it's actually nice as part of the, you know, you're giving that ring and obviously everything that comes with that, but I think people really love to know that something...
Nice to be a proud Canadian.
It really, it's neat. I know, I'd appreciate that. I think that's great. And I love the fact that we're still seeing different colors and stones as well for engagement rings.
That's the thing. These yellows are natural yellows. They're not irradiated as is the chocolate diamonds. These are naturally occurring yellow diamonds.
Very pretty.
And set them up again. We set them up with white diamonds. It shows the color off a little bit better. It's a little bit different, and it's something it'll always show.
And it's right. It's subtle, but it's nice. Okay.
Very subtle.
Very good. All right. So lots of options here for Valentine's, and probably, you know what? Hey, it's Saturday. People might as well just just come on down. So you're located here on Upper James. You've been here forever, and a great spot for people to come get some good advice. And again, maybe just a few questions, and you might have that perfect gift for your loved one.
And we'll be happy to look after you.
Very good. Well, thank you. Thank you, Gwen.
For having us.
And again, H. Williams Jewelers here in Upper James in Hamilton. We'll be back with more Terra at Home and more ideas for Valentine's. That's it for now.
TERRA, where color lives.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. We are in Burlington now, just off Main Way at Simply Ballroom. I'm here with Brian, and we're talking about Valentine's Day. We're focusing on Valentine's Day as it is just around the corner, so we were just talking jewelry and wonderful gifts to give your loved ones. This is another great gift for your loved one, something you can do with a loved one, or if you're alone on Valentine's, you can do all by yourself, right?
Absolutely, yes.
We're still talking about the gift of dance and how wonderful that is, and ballroom dance itself. So this is a partnership with you and your wife, Simply Ballroom, and how did this all come to be for you guys?
Well, actually, my wife and I, we met dancing about 10 years ago. We actually celebrated 10 years last week.
Oh, that's that's neat. Nice. So
Yeah.
that you met through dance,
We
and
did,
from
yes.
there, I mean, it's a common thread for the two of you, and something you love to do. It's a passion that you can't let go of. So why not be something that you do together and have a business, right?
Yep, that's exactly how it started. We first started teaching just independent, renting some space from different studios. It kind of exploded, and we loved it, and we decided this is what we wanted to do for the rest of our lives.
Cool.
So we looked and found a place, and this is it.
And this is it. So you've been here for about 8 years now. And,
8 years, yeah.
That's pretty good, isn't it? That's good for a business.
It's a
I
long
like it.
time, yeah. We didn't
It
think
is.
we were going to make it.
So you're growing and developing, and obviously you had a following, so people were coming and looking. So how does somebody get into ballroom dancing? I think there's a fear for some people because I think it's an inside passion for a lot of people and an interest, but they're afraid to start now. They're adults now. How do I make that step to get into ballroom dancing?
Yeah, you're right. Most of our clientele actually are over 45. I think our youngest is about 5 years old.
Neat.
And we have our oldest, I think they're into their 80s. But anybody can start dancing. And I think it was Richard Gere who actually made that a
so
little more
handsome on the dance floor.
realistic for a lot of men.
That movie was amazing.
So when that movie came out, yeah, a lot of men decided, they said, you know what, I can do this. You know, it's for everybody. And they do still come in a little apprehensive, but once they start, and they, it's nice that we have some men here as well. And so once they kind of see me in a class, they kind of relax a little bit, and they're the ones usually who are clearing their schedule to book lessons.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So they come in for a little sort of taste of it, and they get hooked.
They get hooked right away, absolutely.
Now, you know, obviously, you know, a lot with some of the dance competition shows that we've been seeing, you know, for the last few years on TV, that helps as well bring attention back to ballroom. I mean, theirs is like all over the place, right? All over the map from traditional sometimes.
Yes.
But, you know, I think it's also helped people see that, no, you don't have to have any dance experience at all. And you can, it's amazing. I mean, they're getting some intensive training there, but it's amazing how you can teach someone to dance.
Yeah, on Dance with the Stars, they actually do, I think, about 6 to 8 hours a day.
That's intensive.
It's a lot.
That's why you see them, they're all like, oh, because it's
they're hurting.
Dancing is good for you, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But yes, how do you encourage somebody to just come and try, even though they may feel like they don't have a dancing bone in their body, as a lot of people will say?
You know what, it's also great physical fitness as well, and so I think a lot of people find the TV shows are absolutely, you're correct, the TV shows, people watch the shows and they say, you know, maybe I'll go try it out, but it's for anybody. If you can walk, you can dance.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of people who say, you know what, I can't dance, I've got 2 left feet. It's not true. Look down, everyone has a left and a right.
Right.
Anybody can dance.
Right. So let's talk about the fact that, okay, you're an individual. I mean, it's great if a couple can talk each other into going. That's helpful, right? Because then the two of them, we all know exercise is great once you have a buddy. But if somebody on their own just coming in here, they're looking around saying, well, everybody has a partner. What about me? So what do you do about that?
Well, actually, the majority of our students are single women, single men, but not just single women, single men, but we also have a lot of men and women who come without their partners.
Sure.
Yeah, so they
it's an interest of their own.
Absolutely. You know, maybe their partner wants to golf, and they say, well, I'm
going to dance.
not into golf, and I want to come and dance.
Yes.
And so they come in by themselves, and you know, of course, everything is scary at first, but as soon as they walk in, it's very magical, and it's exactly what you see on TV. You know, you watch the dancing shows on TV, and they walk in here and they realize right away it's exactly like that. It's a great fantasy.
Yeah, and you know, I think the great part too is, you know, as you say, once it's great for somebody once they achieve a couple of steps and they realize they can do it. It encourages them to come back and to learn more, and then I can imagine it becomes quite addictive.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, absolutely. It's very addictive, and that's something that everyone says on passing when they see a new student come in. They say, "Be careful, you're going to get addicted."
You're going to get addicted.
Yeah.
And so, talking about the exercise side of things as well is that, you know, it is such a great form of exercise. Dancers have amazing bodies, and there's a reason for that, is because you're using your whole body. And the best part is that you're having fun at the same time. Everyone loves that kind of exercise.
You're right. There's a lot of articles that have been put out recently. One not too long ago in a Toronto paper about, I think it was a doctor talking about cancer patients, and he recommended go and take some dance lessons, go find a studio for good for recovery.
Oh, how good is that? It's a great endorsement.
If you think about, if you look behind us and you think about the people, how many steps are they actually taking in one 3-minute song, and you've done a couple blocks already.
Yes.
So you get your heart moving. Definitely, we're sweating quite a bit.
And it's social, because social is a great thing for it. We all need to be social. So it's a social aspect. You're having fun, and then guess what? After an hour or whatever it may be, you've had a great workout as well. So
great workout,
it's fun.
and you meet a lot of friends.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So let's talk about a little bit of the social aspect of this as well, because again, you have sort of these fun kind of nights where people get together every other Saturday. Is it?
We do. We call them practice parties, and it's basically just that people can come and practice, open to the public. So whether you're a student or you want to come and check it out, watch everyone else dance.
That's a nice idea, even just to come to watch.
Just to come and watch.
Yeah.
Come in, watch, but practice. It's also a safe environment, very social. We're here, we're directing them. I'm also here. A lot of the instructors are here as well to dance with them, get them up and moving. If they have any questions, we do that as well.
Oh, I love that.
We also have, I know it's Valentine's Day soon,
Yes.
and we also have a Valentine's Day dance, February 15th. Again, open to the public. It's a dinner dance, and we also have a few shows as well.
Oh, where's that?
So it's actually right here in Burlington at the studio.
Okay, cool.
And so we have it catered. People come, and as I said, if you're not a dancer, come. Great show to watch. We have a professional amateur show, which is a teacher and a student, and we also have two amateurs, which I think is the best to see. Two amateurs get up, two people who have at one point didn't know how to dance, and not too long after they're up already performing.
Yes, because that's a whole other element is taking that to your training and then performing.
Take it to the next level. It is.
Yeah, in front of people.
in front of a live audience.
But then you kind of get that bug too, and that's really fun as well, right?
Absolutely.
And that's the great part of all of this is that there is costuming eventually and all the fun things. If you really want to take it, it's beautiful how you get into the footwear and the dance, the costume and dance, and it all of it encompassing. Makeup, hair, the whole thing, right? So for someone to start, what do they do?
All they have to do is just contact us. We do have a website, so we're online. The website is simplyballroom.webr, that's WEBR.ly. And so simplyballroom.webr.ly. Contact us through our email there, give us a call, and all they have to do is book the first lesson, which is basically booking by appointment. And we do have an intro package, which is perfect for people who are starting out, and that's 4 half-hour lessons, and they can come in and again take those lessons at any time.
That's perfect. That's great. It just gives people an intro. And again, as you say, even before that, if you just want to come in and take a little sneak peek of what's going on,
try it out.
That's great. And then do that intro package, and then I'm sure that you get addicted. And again, maybe sometimes if you start as a male or a female and you introduce this around Valentine's, maybe you can get the other partner hooked and join the party and have a good time, right?
Great way to get your partner started is
very
to
good.
buy
Well,
them a
this
gift.
is a perfect way to trigger and to celebrate Valentine's Day. So thank you very much. And
Thank you
to Simply Ballroom and all of our lovely dancers in behind us. We'll be back with more Terra at Home after this.
TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
The Hamilton Spectator, at work, at home, or on the go. Read us online, in print, or download us to your e-reader. Get the Hamilton Spectator any way you want it.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. And as we lead up to Valentine's Day, we've asked our chef Iain here. Of course, we're at the Go Kitchen here at the Hamilton Spectator. We've asked you to make something sweet for us for Valentine's, so that hopefully we can try to do that for our loved ones at home. So
I'm thinking of a guy's play on Valentine's. There's an awful lot of pressure that goes down on that day, and you need to do something. You need to put that
little more effort.
Little effort. Let her know that you care and you're going above and beyond. So with that in mind, I was thinking like the perfect butter pecan tart. You know, dinner is already put out, but just that little something afterwards that's sweet that maybe goes with some cup of coffee. And again, we can cut a few corners. I mean, again, we don't need to like lots of elbow grease and you know, stressing out over this. You know, perhaps a frozen pie shell. Trim a few things off, make it sort of look like our own.
When you were telling me that, I thought you were actually going to make the dough from scratch, but you actually said that you can go and buy pre-made shells.
You can cut a few corners, but again, the most important thing is
the lady will never know.
Make it look like our own. Exactly.
Okay.
So a very simple recipe. It's not a tremendous long list of ingredients. We've got some dark brown sugar. We've got some corn and maple syrup, some melted butter. We're just going to incorporate all the ingredients, and then ultimately we'll spoon into our little pie shells.
Okay, so let's talk about our little pie shells first, though.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so we've got these cute little guys, and they were purchased as they are.
Purchased as they are. Okay. Ultimately, what I like to do is you can take a small knife and you can remove like the sort of telltale signs across the top.
Where it's all been
sort of like beveled and perfectly beveled. Yeah, exactly.
So you just skim that off so it looks like you just
a little more rustic. Exactly. You've pressed it in yourself. And again, if it starts to look a little crumbly, won't you think, oh my God, that's so sweet, the effort that he's done. I'm working for you guys.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we've got some eggs, 3 eggs that we're going to put into our mixing bowl, gentlemen. There you go. We've got some dark brown sugar. That's also going in. Okay.
So the dark brown sugar just has more concentrated flavor to it?
More concentrated flavor. There's a molasses into it, so we're going with that really sort of dark flavors.
Yes,
Again, we're going to be adding a little bourbon and a little vanilla to it. So again, it just all melds together beautifully. We've got about 3 tablespoons of melted butter. There we go. Add that in. And I've got almost a full cup, 3/4 of a cup of corn syrup and a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. I'm also going to incorporate that in. Now, while I have this on the go, it's always a good idea to say par-bake our pie shells. Just start the pie shells cooking a little bit. And so it doesn't take as much time when we put the filling into it.
So you're not ever going to put the filling into them when they're raw?
When they're raw. Nope. We're going to have a very soggy sort of a tart.
Right.
Exactly. So if we just continue to mix that, we are going to take 2 tablespoons. This is something that I started several months back.
Okay, yes, we need to talk about this. This is very special in that jar.
Yes, it's my bourbon vanilla. So ultimately, a few cups of good Kentucky bourbon and my vanilla beans. So my vanilla beans that I purchase, and when I need to take a vanilla bean out, I certainly do.
So that's all it is. It's just bourbon and you stick the vanilla beans in there.
Yep, and when I cut the vanilla bean and I scrape out the precious seeds and put them into my baked good or whatever I'm using with vanilla bean, I then put the bean back in. So again, so it's infusing. So you're taking all the vanilla? Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to find one that is a full pod.
All right.
And the thing to do is we need to, let me make some room so everybody can see. Sorry about that. Is we're going to cut it lengthwise.
Now they're all softened because they've been soaking in there.
Soaking in there, and the flavors that are going to come through.
Whoa, look at that.
Look at that. I'm going to take my knife and scrape. And of course,
that's all you need?
use my spoon. There you go. And so you get that wonderful vanilla flavor.
Okay, so just say you didn't want to go to all of this because that seems like that's a lot. Well, it's not really a lot of work, but
no, it's not a lot of work.
Say, well, Valentine's is in a few days, kind of thing, and hey, I forgot to do that. So
there is some wonderful vanilla extract product that's on the market. There we go. And again, bourbon you'll find at your local liquor store.
Right, so you could just pour a little bit of bourbon, a little bit of vanilla in here, and you're good to go.
3 tablespoons to be exact of your bourbon.
Okay.
And again, we'll just do that. 1, 2, and 3.
Awesome. Oh, it smells so good. Amazing. Okay. All right, next, the nuts.
Did with the pecans is I put them on a dry roasting pan or a fry pan, a medium heat, just to start to warm them up.
You want them toasted before you start adding the syrup, right? Because you don't...
Exactly.
You want to get that
I'm
flavor.
Just going to warm them up, and essentially a few glugs, 1-2 glugs of maple syrup, and keep it coated, and then I'm going to turn the heat off.
Okay, so no butter, no other no brown sugar,
Don't need
nothing.
it.
You just do
Nope.
syrup.
And it just cools off, and you get a lovely candied pecan.
Oh, and
So-
you're adding them right in there.
Add them right in.
I'm glad you have some left because I was eating them all before we started this.
Yes, I'm so happy that we still have some left.
See, you have plenty.
Exactly.
You had no faith in me. That looks awesome.
So ultimately, you're left with a wonderful butter sugar filling with some pecan, and again,
Tasty.
you've got the flavors of the vanilla and the bourbon through.
Yes, you do, and it smells awesome.
So
Okay.
before we go to break, I
Yes.
think we'll start to spoon them in.
Yeah, so we'll pretend that we've taken these out of the oven. We've already done that little par bake, as you said,
Yep.
just so that they are partially cooked.
That's right. And essentially, it's all right.
And you just
babe.
kind of want to make sure you get a few of the nuts inside each one.
That's right. And I fill it about almost 3/4 of the way through.
Okay, so there's not too much expansion with these,
Nope,
right? Because
exactly.
it's just sugars and wow. And that's, I think a lot of people are worried about making tarts. It seems like it's so labor intensive, but I think it's actually the dough that's that's the biggest step. So if you were, as you say, being a little sneaky and just buying them
Exactly.
pre-made, then really these are actually straightforward.
And it's a fairly short ingredient list, as I said. Yeah.
Now I was thinking, I've had something like this before where there's giant dark chocolate chunks in the middle, but you actually have
Okay,
some chocolate.
yeah.
You're incorporating it after, aren't you?
We're going to, it's a blank slate. A
right.
butter pecan tart. You can add anything with it. In my case, yes, I have some wonderful
secret, don't
chocolate
tell anyone.
ganache. Yeah, great.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll show you how that all ends up.
TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning, welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're here with Chef Iain, and we have wonderful sweet smells in our kitchen of your beautiful bourbon tarts.
Yes. We sort of cheated a little bit. We found a store-bought little pastry cups.
Yes.
Sort of
Roughed up the edges.
roughed up the edges to make them look sort of rustic, like, oh, how sweet, you made
you're
that for me. Really simple ingredients, some brown sugar, there was some bourbon, some vanilla bean. We also added some maple syrup and some corn syrup,
Yep.
and some candied pecans. Mixing bowl or mixer doesn't really matter, you get the same product. Spoon it in, 375 degree oven, 20-25 minutes, or until they're set.
Okay, so it's actually really quite straightforward.
Really straightforward.
Yes.
It doesn't take an awful lot of time.
Okay.
Whether you're going to serve it with, vanilla bean ice cream or a little bit of
think you
chocolate
should.
ganache.
How about both?
Well, I only made chocolate ganache.
Well, where's my ice cream, Iain?
Well, seriously, I've just let you down
you
on
really
Valentine's
have. You're so
Day.
disappointing on Valentine's.
all the
I can't
time.
even believe it. Honestly,
Exactly.
we have a couple more days to redeem yourself. You better figure something
I
out.
will do my best.
This is good though. I did try the chocolate ganache, and I have to say it's pretty amazing.
Pretty
Has a nice, deep,
straightforward.
rich flavor to it.
Again, some dark chocolate, a little bit of cream, just sort of melt down and temper the chocolate, and you really have a great, great product.
Okay, so a reminder, this recipe is on our website, terragreenhouses.com, so something that you can find and you can make. And again, really straightforward recipe. People get afraid to make tarts sometimes. You could actually probably make this into a giant one as well, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, do a pie and then cut it into pie.
To little wedges, that'd be nice too, right?
Kind of cute, yeah.
Oh, you're good. Okay, so I think with all the people in the room, we have one to share with everybody. But if you want to have one at home, you're going to have to make these yourself just in time for Valentine's Day. Iain, you're the best.
Perfect.
I forgive you without having ice cream.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
Have yourself a good weekend.
You too.